So the U.S. men's national team falls 3-2 to Turkiye in the final match of the group stages before their actual match in the round of 32 against Bosnia-Herzegovina. Couple of thoughts that I've got. My name is Scott Schertzen. I am almost a Z-list celebrity, and I'm the guy that runs basically most of Stream Punk, so if anything goes south, I'm the guy that gets yelled at most of the time. Right out of the gate, this was a match where the U.S. was challenged in ways they have not been before. Getting 2 own goals in their favor in the first 2 matches against Paraguay and also Australia set a tone early. Much like those 2 matches, this match as well, the United States team actually picked up a goal within 3 minutes. Austin Trusty basically picks up that goal 3 minutes into this. That's a big opportunity right there. But playing on mostly the backup squad, or basically resting a lot of the players out there right now. Pulisic didn't actually get any time till the second half. Chris Richards was out. Matt Freese was out. This was a team that was facing a Turkiye team that had absolutely nothing to lose. This is a team, and 1,000% credit to them, they did not want to go down 0-3 and go back home. They may have been eliminated, but you know what? They can actually hold their heads high knowing that they beat the U.S. on the home turf. And that's the kind of thing that you really use when you're a team to motivate you for upcoming championships and upcoming tournaments. So here's a couple of thoughts that I've got on this match. Is it a cause for concern the team lost 3-2? No, it is not. Will people be writing about how it's a concern that they lost 3-2? Yes, they will. Is this something that Mauricio Pochettino really cares about versus things like overall health? No, he does not. He would gladly take a loss in a situation like this to ensure that the entire squad stays healthy. Now, Trusty did take a shot a little bit later. Zendejas took a little bit of a shot later on, which I would like to be able to show, but as I've already tested on my other account, I cannot play that video because it is blocked worldwide. But it was a shot at point-blank range, left-footed shot right to the male area, shall we say, at a time right there. And yeah, that's a little rough on the twig and berries down there. But the concern in this case exists. Should the U.S. Is this going to be something that the U.S. is going to hold on to? No, it's not. You know, I think this is one of those matches. They got 6 days here before the next match that they've got, which now at this point now is what matters. Round of 32, Bosnia-Herzegovina, which is in the low 60s, by the way. I want to point this out. Coming into this match, the U.S. men's national team was ranked 15th overall. Turkiye was ranked 32nd. So they're a team right there that if I think the U.S. decided to play full squad outright, this is not a team that actually ends up losing to Turkey. Now, my question to a lot of you out there in this case here is, what kind of squad are we going to be expecting next time around? When it comes to the match against Bosnia-Herzegovina, which is ironic because I'm old enough to remember when we had wars against them. I'm sorry, squabbles, depending on how you look at it. Bosnia-Herzegovina is ranked in the low 60s right now. So this is a team that, by all accounts on paper, the U.S. should not have a problem with. This is a match that's going to be July 1st. It's on a Wednesday, 8 p.m., so it's a good opportunity to get some good ratings on that, good excitement on that. And I think for Fox, they've got to understand, they're got to be excited by that opportunity right there. They're riding this hot hand for the U.S. as long as they can. You know, who knows what's going to happen going forward, but there is some major concerns right now when it comes to the U.S. men's national team. The biggest one right now is that in 11 matches, they have never beaten a European team. Now, Bosnia-Herzegovina does not fall into that category right there, but eventually, sooner or later, they're probably going to have to face a stronger squad out there. Your Portugals, your France, your UK, and they are 9 losses and 2 draws and no wins. So big concern on that front, big anxiety on that front, but you focus on one problem at a time. You focus on one anxiety at a time. Now, one anxiety that I do have and one concern that I do have in this particular case is that they were a team that actually, in giving up 3 goals, was only on 4 shots. You know, I was a little surprised to see the performance that Matt Turner gave, given how much experience he has in World Cup play. The U.S. men's national team had 7 shots on goal, scored 2. Turkiye had 4 shots on goal, scored 3. So I am a little concerned about that part of it. Also, adding to the fact that the U.S. team had 9 corners. 9 corners, 2 goals, 7 shots. That is something that Pochettino is not going to allow going forward. He is probably going to be ripping his team sideways on something like that. I think right now, you look at this squad, they're disappointed by the loss. They wanted a sweep. They have never, U.S. men's national team has never won 3 actually in the group stage ever in their history. They will not do it this time around either, but it's still something that I would like to see what this team can do in this case. They haven't really been super duper tested in this World Cup. This is arguably the first test that they have had so far, even if it was basically their running B squad in a borderline meaningless game overall. But they haven't been tested yet. They have never not scored. They've never played from behind. They've never given up the first goal. This is the first time in the entire World Cup that they have actually had to play from behind at any point. My wife fell asleep. She asked me how the team was doing at halftime. I said they were losing. She was shocked and used a word I'm not going to use on Harry here because I don't want to be demonetized. But it was a challenge that I think the U.S. men's national team kind of needed. It was an opportunity for them to test their mettle a little bit, see what they can do, get tougher from it. Was it an A-list team? No, it was not. It wasn't even a C-list. It was an arguably C-minus team, I think, in this case. So the loss will sting some, but I think it's a good loss. And that's a weird thing to say a lot of times. You don't always hear that phrase, but a good loss in this case is one that you can learn from, you can grow from, and you can pick apart the mistakes that were made. It's a good training exercise for Bosnia-Herzegovina and going forward. Now, Bosnia-Herzegovina is 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. They came in third overall in the third place category. So congratulations to them for moving on. Congratulations for Japan as well. I'll talk about that maybe in a second if I get to it. I got a soft spot for Japan. But I personally think this is honestly about as best as it can go. Do you want to have the win on that? Yeah, you do. But I think you need the loss to be able to grow. You need to actually take the punch in the gut here to develop your team and get a little bit tougher. And I like the fact that they had that. I think this is a good opportunity for the team to get a little stronger here. Again, next Wednesday, they got 6 days to fine tune this thing. Next Wednesday is when basically it really gets interesting. Single elimination. After that, whichever team moves on to the round of 16, that would be between July 4th and July 7th. Ironically, if the United States, and I've looked into this, if the United States end up playing on July 4th, that would be really patriotic at that point. I may be going to a party where they pay no attention to soccer, but I could probably convince them to throw it on. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think this is a good match? Do you think they should have won it? Are you okay with their loss? Are you okay with that? Are you also okay with the fact that mainstay of socialite culture, Paris Hilton, brought out the soccer ball? Many of you may remember Paris Hilton from that adult tape she had about 25 years ago with Rick Solomon called One Night in Paris. Rick Solomon, best is known as arguably the former ex-Miss Shannon Doherty and also ex-Miss E.G. Daly, who you might remember also as Tommy Pickles. Yes, Rick Solomon, who nailed Paris Hilton and Shannon Doherty. Also basically was married to the voice of Buttercup from Powerpuff Girls and Tommy from Rugrats. So there's a little fun fact on you. And this is why Stream Punk balances both sides, the entertainment side and the movie side. By the way, quick shout out here. We have the voice of Tweety Bird, Bob Bergen, coming on in about a month on the Cinema Channel. But that'll be something I'll talk about a little further going forward. But right now for the U.S. men's national team, I'm going to probably wrap this up at this point. A good loss is what I'm going to define this as. You see the opportunity to see the holes in this game. You see the mistakes that were made. You learn, you adjust, you grow, you get stronger, and you don't make the same mistakes again. So right now, they lose 3-2 in a little bit of a heartbreaker and at a time. Turkiye, congratulations on that. You're not going out 0-3. Again, you can hold your head up high. You beat the Americans on their home soil. So even though you're going home eliminated, you're still in many ways going home a winner. Anyway, I am Scott Schertzen from Stream Punk Soccer. Thanks for the time. Take care. Appreciate everything. Stay well and stay awesome.